Las Vegas. As we all know, Las Vegas, Nevada is known for its glitz and glamour. From the large casinos, the Vegas strip lights at night, the well-known entertainment, and its fine dining choices. I can tell you from my own experience, there's definitely some impressive steakhouses, seafood restaurants, and plain old tasty junk food joints. That's Las Vegas. And when you want to get away from the Las Vegas Strip, you can take in the sights of Fremont Street, Red Rock Canyon, Mount Charleston, and even the Grand Canyon. If you like to ski, Mount Charleston is an excellent option in the winter. Just remember, if you're driving up the mountain in the winter months, you'll be required to have snow chains. Unfortunately, with all the exciting things there are to do in the Las Vegas area, as with most cities of its size, there's always going to be a downside. The side most people, fortunately, don't see. Welcome back for another episode of True Crimes and Mysteries with Ricochet Rains. In this episode, we'll be traveling back to Las Vegas, Nevada, a city I currently am very familiar with, as it's right in my backyard, so to speak. I'll be covering the death of 22-year-old Graciela Gomez, a beautiful young woman who was loved by her family, friends, and her Nevada National Guard unit. As of the publishing of this video, the shooter or shooters has not been found, and the case is ongoing. When we go to a holiday celebration, no matter what holiday it is, we expect to have a great time, hanging out with our friends, meeting new people, having good food and spirits. No one expects to go out and experience a tragedy, such as what Graciela Gomez, her friends, and family experienced. Graciela was a 22-year-old woman who graduated from Las Vegas High School and was a member of the Las Vegas-based 17th Sustainment Brigade, serving as a specialist in the Nevada National Guard. She was praised for her work with the COVID-19 task force during the pandemic, putting her life on pause by volunteering to fight the battle against COVID-19 and serving for the past year at testing and vaccination sites across southern Nevada. She was described as dedicated, kind, and enthusiastic. Graciela had a bright future ahead of her, attending college and studying to eventually serve as an educator. On October 30th, 2021, a holiday party at the 200 block of Beasley Drive in Las Vegas, Nevada, was planned for a group of friends. The host of the party had rented a house specifically for the event and had shared the party details with friends on social media. Eventually, the invitation spread to hundreds more people. We all know how information spreads on the internet, pretty much like wildfire. As you can imagine, due to the social media spread of the party details, more than just friends arrived at the celebration. Ultimately, the Halloween party got out of control to the point where the host of the party required a pat-down of the additional people arriving at the house. Now, personally, and this has no reflection on anyone who attended the party, it's just my own opinion. If I had been attending a party that required a pat-down of partygoers, I'd be out of there in a New York minute, aka very, very fast. That would definitely be a warning sign of things to come. Anyway, at one point, according to the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, a group of males attempted to attend the party but refused to be patted down. The refusal started a confrontation between the host and the males who were trying to get in. The males were refused entry to the home. Shortly after the confrontation, at approximately 1 a.m. on October 31st, 2021, detectives said a four-door sedan pulled up and multiple shots were fired from within the car. A neighbor from the area, Maria Allo, said, "There were a lot of people at the house that night, mostly teenagers." She also said she saw everyone running away from the scene after the gunfire. Maria said she then saw one of the girls who looked to be hurt, possibly shot, being given CPR. 3 people, including 22-year-old Graciela Gomez, were shot during the gunfire. 2 of the victims were self-transported to a nearby hospital, where their injuries were not life-threatening. However, Graciela suffered a gunshot wound to the abdomen and was pronounced dead at the scene. 3 months after Graciela's death, Lieutenant Ray Spencer of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department said, investigators desperately needed witnesses to come forward, stating that the suspects have been able to elude law enforcement. The investigation has also been curtailed by poor quality surveillance video from that night.
It has been 3 months since Graciela Gomez was killed at that Halloween party in the Northeast Valley. After dozens of interviews in those few months, Metro says they still don't have any leads. Tonight, her family is begging anyone with any information to come forward. A desperate plea for answers from a family mourning their 22-year-old daughter, sister, and girlfriend.
I just want to take Las Vegas ear and help and anything that could help.
Graciela Gomez was a Nevada National Guardswoman killed at a Halloween party at a rental house in the Northeast Valley.
She was exceptionally well thought of by her leadership, fellow soldiers, and airmen, not just for her dedication and faithful service, but for her kindness, her smile, and her enthusiasm.
Now Metro is re-upping the investigation, calling on the public for any answers as her case starts drying up.
I want our community to know who Graciela Gomez is. It is important that everyone in Las Vegas does everything they can to help us solve this case.
Homicide Lieutenant Ray Spencer says the Halloween party Graciela was at started getting out of hand when the address was shared with hundreds of strangers online.
Because there were so many people at the party, the host at the party began to pat people down for security reasons at the front door.
Spencer says one group of uninvited guests refused to be patted down, sparking an argument between them and the host. The group eventually left, but he says just minutes later,
a car drove by in front of the house and multiple shots were fired from inside the car.
Those shots injuring 2 people and killing Graciela.
For us to have lost such a great loss, someone that was upstanding in the community, had all her life ahead of her.
Metro is still working to find the group in that car responsible for firing those bullets.
We have a sedan that drove by the house when the shots came out of the sedan. Right now, because of the video, we're not able to say for sure what color the sedan is.
To bring closure to Graciela's family and fellow soldiers.
We owe that to her and her family for her faithful and dedicated service.
Metro says if you were at the party but were not interviewed by any detectives, you should come forward. Now, if you have any information, you should also call Crime Stoppers. That number is on your screen right now. You can stay anonymous and there could be reward money. Reporting live, Sophia Pericone, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Surprisingly, not one witness who remained at the house could give a description of the males involved in the confrontation with the host of the party. How is it that the host of the party, who participated in the confrontation with the males, is not able to recall what the alleged suspects look like? I mean, the shooting took place right after the interaction with the alleged suspects, unless the witnesses were possibly threatened. Just a thought. Needless to say, law enforcement officials have exhausted all leads and are desperate for any and all tips. Lieutenant Ray Spencer said he believes someone who has yet to come forward could help put together the missing pieces and solve Graciela's murder. At the time of the publishing of this video, no arrests have been made. If you or anyone you know has information regarding the death of Graciela Gomez, please don't hesitate to contact the Homicide Division of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department at 702-828-3521 or Crime Stoppers at 702-385-5555. Any information, no matter how small, may help solve this crime. A GoFundMe account in Graciela Gomez's name is linked below to help the family with funeral and other expenses. I want to thank you for watching this episode of True Crimes and Mysteries with Ricochet Reigns. As always, take care of yourselves and hold tight to the ones you love.